In this example, we are going to do the line and square pattern problem at the end of chapter 3. It's problem 1. Here is what it looks like. And in this example, we are going to be using the polygon command instead of the rectangle command, just so that you guys get experience with polygons. And before we go into this example, I'm going to have a short explanation on the difference between the inscribed in circle and circumscribed about circle. So when you use a polygon command, you have to specify the center point, you have to say the radius, and you have to tell AutoCAD if it's inscribed in a circle or circumscribed about circle. And so I just wanted to explain what the difference is. So here's a polygon. You can see here's the polygon and here's the center point of it. And we said that it was a radius of 3 and it was inscribed in a circle, which means that if there was a circle drawn around the polygon with a radius of 3, the polygon is going to be inside the circle. See, it says, do you want it to be inscribed in circle, meaning the polygon is going to be inside a radius of 3 circle. Whereas circumscribed about circle means that the polygon is going to be outside of the circle, or circumscribed about the circle. So in this example, here's the polygon that is circumscribed about the circle with a radius of 3. So you can see that the circle with the radius 3 is actually inside this polygon here. All right, and just to note, this polygon has 5 sides. So if we were going to have a drawing with dimensions, let's see here, this option would be inscribed in a circle with a radius of 3, or the diameter 6, so the radius is going to be 3. And if you were given something that was dimensioned like this, we are going to use circumscribed, which just means if I were to draw a circle with a radius of 3, then this polygon would be outside of the circle. And in this one, it would be inside of the circle. Okay, so this is what the two different things look like: circumscribed, inscribed, with a circle of radius 3. So let's go back to the example and get started and actually apply that to our example. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to look at our problem, and we see that we're given 3 dimensions. We know that this right here is a 3 by 3 square. And then we see that it says 0.25 TYP, which just means that the distance between each of these lines and each of these squares is 0.25 inches throughout the entire thing. So if you see the TYP, that means everything that has this spacing that looks like the 0.25 inches is also going to be 0.25. Therefore, the first thing that we can draw is this square right here, because we have dimensions for that. We don't have dimensions for this outside square. So we're going to click the down arrow. If yours is rectangle, you want to click the down arrow. If not, you can just click the icon, but click the arrow and click polygon. All right, and the number of sides we want is 4, so type in 4, enter. And then the center point of the circle is going to be, let's just have it right here at 0, 0, so 0, 0, enter. And like we just discussed, if the square is dimensioned like this, it's going to be the circumscribed about circle option, because if we were to draw a circle inside of here, right? Imagine a circle inside the polygon, then from the center point, or the diameter of the circle from here to here, is going to be 3. That's why it's the circumscribed. So click circumscribed about circle, and then it says specify radius, which is 3 divided by 2, 1.5, enter. All right, then we're going to offset by 0.25 inside, so go to offset, and then type in 0.25, enter, and then click the square, and you have to specify what direction you want the offset. So I want the offset to go inside, and then click, and that will set the offset inside. Then click again and go in the inside, click. You can click again, inside, inside, and there we go. All right, escape. Now we need to draw this outside circle, and what we're going to do is we're actually, we don't really need to know the radius of the circle, but we are going to use the circumscribed option again, because it's going to allow us to click in the center point, so 0, 0 over here, and then do circumscribed, and we can actually draw in the rectangle. So click the polygon command, number of sides is 4. This center point, I'm going to do 0, 0, enter. I'm going to use the circumscribed about circle again, and then I'm just going to drag this and click on this corner here. Okay, and it'll actually draw it where it's outside of, imagine if we had a circle here. Okay, so it's just going to be drawn on the outside of it. And then the last thing is just to go in and draw these lines here. You can use a array or a polar array if you know how to do that. If not, then we're just going to use the mirror command, and you can go back in and next week I'm going to have an array example, so you'll be able to do that in the future. So we're going to click line, and then from this top down, you make sure that it's 90 degrees. My midpoint object snap is on, so it's going to make sure that it snaps to the midpoint of this line right here. All right, and then I'm also going to do that on the other side. So click line, and then to the midpoint of this one here, escape. All right, and then I'm going to go to the offset command, and the distance is going to be 0.25, enter, and then we're just going to start offsetting. And then we'll do this one. And you guys can go in and do this entire, keep offsetting lines for the entire thing, but I'm actually just going to use a mirror command to just mirror these on the other side and then mirror them down. So first I need to trim. I'm going to hit trim and then just trim. Oh no, all of these lines here, and then trim these lines here, and then I'm going to type in mirror, and I'm going to mirror these objects. I don't need this outside square, so I hold shift and selected the square because that's how you deselect. Okay, enter, and then mirror line, I'm going to use this point and then this top point for the mirror line. No. All right, do that again. Mirror. And then I'm going to use select objects, hold shift and deselect. Let me plug my laptop in really quick. Guys, on us. All right, 1 second. And then select objects, enter, and this is going to be the left side, and then the right side. No, and then we're going to click mirror again, and we're going to select this time all of these lines, enter, and then the mirror line, we're just going to use these corners. So that corner, and then this corner over here, no, and then one more time, mirror, and we'll select all of these objects. I'm going to hold shift and deselect the bigger or square, and then enter, and then I'll click this top there and click the bottom here, and then erase source objects, click no. All right, and there you go. You have the lines and square patterns complete.